guys, welcome to iTech 3100, Improving Learning with Technology in the Elementary Classroom. I'm Dr. Frazier and I'll be your instructor for the course. This quick presentation will cover some of the basic parts of the course, how to navigate the course, and what you'll need to do next. We'll also cover the course syllabus. Please remember that you have 5 total online meetings. The rest will be independent online work. And your coursework will last 15 weeks. We'll also discuss some of the policies that you need to be aware of this semester. Finally, we'll go over the Weebly checklist. This will be used to set up your portfolio this week. So you'll be setting up your portfolio that you'll work on the entire semester this week so that it's ready to use as soon as you're ready to start the page that we are currently working on. So make sure that you get that portfolio done this week, and we will be working in it right away in the next module. Here's your syllabus. It should look just like this, and this is the front page, so it's got a list of your meetings. It also tells you how you can contact me, your instructor. And then just important information that you can kind of breeze through until you get down to, let me point this out, this is the International Society for Technology and Education Standards, and these are the standards that we use a good bit in the course, but also as teachers you will use them in the classroom. And we'll talk more about those in another module. So if we go to one section, this is the content section. It tells you exactly what you'll be graded on this semester. And you can see right here at the top is your instructional technology portfolio, which is worth 1,250 points. So here are all the portfolio entries that you'll make. You'll have 12. You'll do one this week, and it's very simple. I'll make sure that I go over that real quickly before the class meeting is over. You do get points for every synchronous online session that you participate in. There are also mini assignments, content quizzes, which I'll cover as well, and professional learning network participation. Finally, you'll have a preparation, participation, and professionalism grade, and this is for points that go to the participation in class throughout the semester and professionalism, which means turning things in on time and making sure that you've got things submitted in a consistent manner. Okay, there's your points for each portfolio, and then you can see the assignments are listed by module, the assignments that you'll receive points for, and you can see for each module what you'll be turning in. And I separated this from the participation points, which are down here. So you've got your meetings listed, and then you've got your points for a total of 1,900 points. Some of the things that you want to make sure that you look at is the due dates. You can see I'll keep 2 modules open at a time at all times. So you can work ahead if you would like. Please make sure that you're aware of certain policies like makeup and late work, as well as the incomplete policy. Every semester I have students ask me if I can give them an incomplete grade, and I'm not allowed to give you an incomplete grade unless you worked right up until the last 2 weeks of the semester. Otherwise, it's really just for emergencies. So make sure that you follow this. And if you see that you're not doing well in the course and you're not keeping up, withdraw before the midpoint of the semester so that you will not get a grade that will affect your grades for the rest of the time you're in your coursework. Okay, so those are the basics of the syllabus, and you can see this is the course and what you will look at when you go in. Make sure that you go through the orientation page because that's got some things that you'll want to know. But like I said, the course resources are here, and this is going to be really important to you because you'll find your syllabus, module objectives, and activities. That's something for you to look at later. But the most important parts are these last 2 documents and pages. This section gives you the guidance pages for each Weebly page. So you'll see the introduction page, which is what you'll work on this week, tells you exactly what you have to include in your page. And this is a good way to check off and make sure that you did everything that is expected in your portfolio page for each one of the pages. A little bit further down, you can see some of the pages will require a lesson idea. I think there's only 6 that actually require a lesson idea, but these are the templates for that, and they're different for each of the portfolio pages that have lesson ideas. So you can see some of them do and some of them do not. These are the ones that do, and the ones that say no, you don't have them. Finally, there are rubrics included for each topic. So when you finish your portfolio page, you can come back, click on the rubric, and make sure that you know what is required and that you've met all the requirements. And the second resource, which says it's coming soon, but it's actually right here now, so I can take that off, is the Weebly page layout and writing tips. This is going to be very important as you have your portfolio set up this week and beyond this week, because sometimes people have a lot of trouble with getting images in and when their fonts aren't looking right. So you can just look at this. It's got your tips for fixing those items. One of the things a lot of students have trouble with is the line height, which is the space between your sentences. Make sure that you've set it maybe at a 23 or 24, because the letters should not be touching between the lines. So just make sure, because it looks really messy, and we want this to look very professional for you, because you will use this in a professional manner in the future, hopefully, to try and apply for a job. So you can see lots of tips in here, and there are also writing tips below, so that if you have trouble with certain things, these are the things that people tend to have trouble with the most. Okay, so make sure you look through this document, and just, if you have any trouble, you're able to kind of troubleshoot those things on your own. Okay, below that you've got your content browser, which we'll go to in just a minute, but make sure that you know that the calendar is just below that. You will log into your sessions here. Hopefully that's what you did today, and announcements will be listed here. I will make an announcement for each module, so you can look at that to see if you get any tips or ideas to work through the modules. All right, now let's go to content. You can use these tabs above as well and look at the content. So you'll see this should look just like yours, because I've got it in student view. You've got your module 1 content. This is where you'll read through everything you have to do in the course. I also included a checklist just under that, so you can see everything that you need to do, the required activities and submissions within the module. You can go through and check these off as you finish them. And that's kind of helpful, because you can make sure that you have everything complete that you have to turn in. And back to the content page. We will go through the actual content in just a minute, but I just want you to notice there are certain other things below that you can see. If there are assignments, you can complete them there. This is an optional fun activity that you can do. Remember, it's optional. But here's the most important part this week. You're going to want to go through the Weebly portfolio instructions and look at those as you complete your setting up your portfolio. It's also got the guidance page for the introduction. Don't worry, you'll have everything you need to get the introduction page together. It's really not that difficult, because a lot of the text is given to you. And then your rubric. And finally, you'll have your flip grid that you have to complete as well. There is an end of module survey for each module that is optional, but you can fill that out if you are interested in letting me know that there's a problem with the module or something that you think would work better. All right, so let's go back up to this content area. For module 1, it always starts with an overview and objectives. And then this is just a checklist for you to see what you'll be doing during the module. I broke down the other checklist so you can see what you turn in and what is required. All right, and you'll see the Weebly checklist that we just went over is right there in the module. And there's some suggestions. I'm not going to read through everything. And you'll just go through each page and read everything. And we'll go through this more in just a minute. So just to note, when you get to page 7 of the content section in module 1, you'll see this is where you start building your Weebly portfolio. And you'll create an account in education.weebly.com. There's the link. And then it's got step 1, step 2. It tells you exactly what to do and how to set up your account. So follow these directions exactly and you'll have no problems. These actually go into your portfolio, and the text that you'll put in your portfolio is right here. So I'll show you an example of what this looks like. I don't remember where it is. Oh, I've got a page marked in here. Okay, that's an example of somebody else's. This is what it'll look like when you get into Weebly. And this is what I put together. You can see that text that you just saw is right here. So all you have to do is put your name in it and the important information. You've been given this picture and this picture as well. And just make sure you follow the directions to put in the standards and the TPAC framework here. So as you can see, the main things you'll be doing is you'll set up the theme in the pages, but the main thing you'll be doing is building when you put together your portfolio. And you can see each of these pages that you'll design. And like I said, all the directions are in the video that you'll see and in the paperwork in the module. Okay, so we'll go back to the content, and that's what you'll be working on this week. Just to give you an idea of what you'll be working on next week, here's Module 2. And in this module, you'll see you've got the content and the checklist, and actually I don't think it's open yet, so I'll show you that in class because you'll need to know what to do for the next module. So it's a little bit different because you'll have a quiz next week. So I'll go over that when we get back into the course in Collaborate Ultra, and we'll discuss that. I wanted you to see one more thing, and I think you kind of briefly saw that. This is one of the portfolios from last semester, and this is the second page that you'll do in your portfolio. So you can see what it looks like. There's always a title for the page, and then text regarding the technology that they learned or you will learn this week. And these are artifacts and pictures to show what each of the tools she's describing are. So you'll always have text and you'll always have some kind of picture or artifact. Okay, in fact, I want to show you what an artifact looks like. We go to the basic productivity tools. She's got an artifact down here that you can see where she posted, and I don't want to mess this up, but she's got an MP4 and a PowerPoint, just a plain PowerPoint here. So you'll see how you do that, and this is one of the lesson ideas. So this is what you'll fill out, and that'll go into your portfolio as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about this next week since that's coming up soon. Okay. The last thing I wanted to do is just give you some advice from both the instructors that have taught this course as well as the students that have taken this course last spring. So some of the advice is read all the information in the module, make sure that you look at each tool because we've got some great tools in every single module. Watch all the videos to maximize your learning. Use the Weebly checklist that I showed you, and that'll help you with writing and your Weebly pages that you're putting together. Review the feedback that you get for each assignment, because when you submit those assignments, and I'll show you how to do that next week, you will, actually probably this week, you will get feedback on those pages, and if it's not acceptable, you'll have to make some changes to it. So make changes fast so that you don't forget them, resubmit, and you'll get a grade. You'll get that back and let you know that it's sufficient. Also follow the APA listings listed in the Weebly checklist. Now this is kind of interesting because this is advice from former students from last spring. So I'll read just a few of these, but this is one. I love the hands-on learning that took place during the semester. I also love following along with the videos throughout the activities. I'd like to suggest to students in the future semesters to do your quizzes early in the days of the semester. So I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to the quizzes. Becoming technology efficient, clickers, creating personal books, those were some of their favorite things. Always publish and check your Weebly page to check links, documents, pictures, and so forth, because sometimes things don't work and you want to make sure that they do. Make sure you follow instructions to a T, no matter how long it takes. Everything's written out in the documentation that you're given regarding each post, so make sure you follow those. The guidance pages and rubrics say exactly what needs to be done. And somebody else said, I find that I'm less stressed when I take 2 days to complete a module instead of trying to do everything in one day. And I would highly recommend that as well. Finally, I would say this one, I love learning about so many different and new forms of technology that can be used in the classroom, and I hope you will too. My favorite ones were Kahoot and Plickers. I think Kahoot's a fun way to quiz your students, and Plickers is interactive and keeps answers anonymous to the rest of the class. And then this last one piece of advice I'd give to someone starting this course is read through the requirements. Try to prepare the requirement on your own prior to class, such as the lesson plan and discussion parts. Then the information can be uploaded once the technical parts are created in the class. Now, this was a face-to-face course at the time, so that's what they're referring to. But just know that it's important to stay abreast of many current trends in technology as is possible to keep above the waters. And I'll show you how to do that. Finally, and most importantly, please be patient. Be patient with yourself, be kind, and contact me when needed. There will be some frustrations as you deal with learning these new tools, but those frustrations turn into learning experiences. So make sure that you take your time, don't get too frustrated, and contact me when you need so you can learn what you need to learn and get through each of the modules.